Now, more than ever, we need to focus on stories of strength, courage, and unity. Welcome to COVID Talks, a series dedicated to promoting positive conversations during uncertain times.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our 19th episode of COVID Talks, Positive Conversations During Uncertain Times. My name is Anthony Rapp of PR Cision. I'll be your host for the evening. We got a great show tonight. I'm actually excited because the same person who is the guest, who is not only a close friend of mine, actually said that he loves the web series. He loves to watch it, but he thinks it's kind of boring. So we need to liven it up. So we're going to bring in the king of entertainment, gaming industry insider, my good friend Tom Banis of Down to the Felt Casino Rentals. His company has been featured on Man Caves. They do a lot of work for celebrities. They do installs of custom games. They do and run the Tri-State's largest poker league. So everything related to the gaming industry, he's got his hands and finger on the pulse of what's going on. We're excited to have him with us. But before we get to him, I want to thank everybody who is tuning in and watching us live. We appreciate it. If you go to the bottom, do me a favor, click that little share button and share the stream to your personal pages. If you're listening in on the podcast, thank you for listening in. We appreciate it. Thank you for downloading us. And we are going to get right to our headlines of the day. So first up, this afternoon, the America Strong flyover began at 12 o'clock, and 8 U.S. Air Force Thunderbird F-16 jets flew over the Verrazano Narrows Bridge here in Staten Island, a great symbol of solidarity, a great symbol of America, a great symbol of us getting through this, that we may be in quarantine and these may be difficult times, but we're in this together, a symbol of strength. So very nice to have seen that today. I was fortunate enough to actually have seen the flyover, and it was amazing. So thank you to the Navy, the Marines, and everyone else who participated in getting that together. Small businesses, as we all know, small businesses, including mine and our guest tonight, Tom Banis's, are unfortunately closed. But there's good news amidst all the darkness. So Staten Island Bank, Empire State Bank, located on Staten Island, and its CEO, Philip Guarneri, have been working hard for their clients and their customers around the clock for the last 7 or 8 weeks, trying to get the money in the hands of business owners who need it. And today they were proud to report that they did over 300 loans, and about 60% of those loans were given to Staten Island-based businesses, and it totaled roughly $34 million. So shout out to Phil Guarneri, shout out to Empire State Bank. The reason that number is 60% and not 100% is because Empire State Bank also has branches in Brooklyn. So Phil, great work. Thanks for all you do for the community. And to those small business owners that needed that infusion, hopefully you could put it to work and get back to business. And last, of course, there's an opportunity to make money. At the same time, there's also an opportunity to spread some positivity, right? So you can go and get your own custom-made face masks on fanatics.com. They have them in NFL. They have them in NHL. I'm sure they're going to be coming out with NBA. They're going to have a slew of them. So you can go there, pick it up, and while you're sitting home watching the game, I guess you can put it on in the comfort of your own house. With that, we're going to do 2 quick PSAs. So if you're interested in learning more about us or following us, getting updates, check us out on Facebook at COVID Talk. Visit us at our website at covid-talks.com. You can get all the past episodes as well as future guests. Definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel at COVID Talks. Download the podcast on iTunes and Spotify. And you can also text the word talks to the number 313131 from your cell phone, and we will text you with updates and guests as they become available. Speaking of guests, if you're interested in being a guest or want to hear a topic discussed, shoot us an email, info@prcision.com. We'll be happy to go through those emails and get to the topics you want to hear and see, and also discuss. And if you are interested in being a guest, we encourage you to give us a shout out because we'd love to have you on, love to feature your positive news. And speaking of guests, tomorrow night, we are fortunate enough to have with us Michael Scarambolo, branch manager of First Home Bank, located here on Staten Island. He's an approved lender in all 50 states. He's going to come on, and he has a COVID Talks exclusive. His company's actually been working hard to put together a package, a special package for first responders, and you're going to hear it and see it here live, dropping the package and explaining what the package is and how it can help benefit. So we're really looking forward to having him with us tomorrow night. And finally, we are exceptionally proud to announce that Ms. Linda Barron, president of the Staten Island Chamber of Commerce, has agreed to partake in this web series. It's a huge honor for us to have her. She's been approached by numerous webcasts and numerous shows that are being live streamed, such as COVID Talks. But Linda was nice enough to commit next week to come on our show. We're looking forward to having her. We thank her for giving us her time and to be a part of our program. So we'll keep you updated and let you know when she will be on next week. All right, so we're back. So gaming has always been a big part of everyone's life, right? So 90% of us, 100% of us have been to Atlantic City, been to Las Vegas. It's a way to have some fun, release, relax, enjoy yourself. Now everything's closed. So that's one element of what Tom Banis is going to speak with us about. So the casinos itself, how is the transition from going into the experience, standing in the casino, even though it can translate and transition into an online platform, what does that look and feel like? In addition, his portion of his business is also running one of the largest bar poker leagues in the tri-state area. So what does that look like now? Because people have to stay home. And quite frankly, when people can leave again and we're all back out of quarantine, do I really want to sit down in a bar league and play poker and handle chips and touch cards? Do I really want to do that? I don't know. So he's going to weigh in on that. His company has also been featured on numerous television shows and cable TV series, such as Man Caves. They do major projects because another offshoot of his company is sales and gaming tables and accessories. So major installs for celebrities from Dan Marino to directors of movies who we're going to touch upon. So Tom, I'm trying to give you the biggest intro I can. Not only is he my friend and he's handsome, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to bring to the stream my good friend and the owner of Down to the Felt, Mr. Tom Banis.
Hi, it's so nice to be here, Anthony. I think you do such an amazing job. You really do. I think you're conveying such positive messages, and you're bringing together so many different dynamics and different people. I want to applaud you for that. You need to be the COVID hero of the day one day on this show yourself, because you really are. You're putting in the work, my friend. You're putting in the work, and I appreciate you having me on the show. I apologize, I'm so poorly lit, but yeah, he gave me a lot of a build up. And I'm just going to give you a quick background. I have a retail store that is currently shut down. I also have a live event, casino gaming live events for corporate and private function, birthday parties, 90th birthdays. It is no shock to me that part has also been shut down. And then we also have a free bar league that runs all throughout the tri-state area. We put people in the World Series. You come out and you play real poker. Our tagline was real poker, real tables, real chairs, real people. And that part has also been temporarily postponed.
We just adapt. We change the taglines. That's why you have people like me to help you out. We'll change the taglines and we'll adapt.
That's it. That's my goal. So my goal is really just to make an adaptation to our new normal for a little while. I think we could all do it. I love all these people in the comments, but I was told by Ty Bavona I don't address them. I have to address you. Sorry. So I really do feel like it's a big deal in that we all adapt in the moment we're in. I do think we're going to go back, and we're going to go back to our normal. But at this point, we had to pull back from that. So I was actually one of the first people to stop in bar league poker, which you'd be surprised, but there are a lot of things with bar league poker. With bar league poker that are going on all throughout Staten Island and throughout New Jersey. I was the first one to cut my entire group because I felt like I was out dealing cards, and I'm like, you know what, guys? I started doing all my PSAs and saying, please don't touch your face. Please make sure you sanitize your hands, wash your hands constantly. But the masses, you're drinking, you're in a bar. People are eating popcorn. They're eating chicken wings. They're touching chips. Chips are going to be. We had just cleaned them, and we cleaned them again. And what does that sound? Do you have a jet going over you right now? I hear something going on. So the Blue Angels back just for Anthony Rapp today.
Just for the show.
Just for the show. Everybody look outside. They're doing a PR decisions formation right now. But yeah, so I felt like it was the most socially conscious move to shut down my business before anybody implemented the shutdown. And I think that's what we need to do right now. It's not over. Life didn't stop, guys. We're just staying home. And I think there's a lot of positive silver linings in staying home right now, right? So I'm getting to spend more time with my beautiful wife that I've never eaten dinner with her so many nights in a row in my life, ever.
But that's a good thing.
Right? I'm talking to my parents every day. Yes, I will take questions from Moss, even though Todd Bavona says we're not allowed to take questions from the crowd yet. So I am, you know,
I gotta tell you, you're doing a good job of being the host and the guest.
I
You're
do.
the
I
first
know.
one
I'm
who's done that.
sorry. I'm not used to not being the host.
You're doing a good job, though.
So,
I'll just leave the screen big, and you can just take it.
there you go. You go have dinner with your wife. Everybody wins. Win, win, win.
All right, so we're gonna pull it back.
Good. Sorry.
Let's focus a little bit. This is like having Moss on the show. Give us your background. I know you very well. The people you just mentioned know you very well, but there are people who are watching right now and who are going to be listening later that don't know. So give me your background, where you grew up, how you got started, and then segue into Down to the Felt. It's multifaceted. There's like 4 components that I know of right now that I'm sure there's at least 1 or 2 more. So give us your background and give me every component of Down to the Felt.
Okay, so my background is born and bred on Staten Island, still living out here. I started out going to school and thinking, well, I started out when I was playing high school football, thinking I'd be a football player. That didn't work out. I broke my leg. Then after I broke my leg, I was in college going towards physical therapy. And then I opened an entertainment company on the side. And I started making more money in the entertainment company than some of the therapists are able to take home. So I was like, you know what? Why would I work for anybody else? So I haven't had a job in 21 years. 21 years, nobody has signed a paycheck for me. And funny enough, I don't have a job now, so it doesn't bother me that much. So I was like, I've lived in this irregular realm. Like as a small business owner, there are months, I'm sure people could attest to this. Maybe not Moss because he constantly has money coming in, but there's other business owners out there that there's a month that you drought, that you don't make money or you lose money. And due to that, this normal isn't that weird to me. It's just like, how do I adapt and change to it, right? So if you are a business owner and you don't have a job, I think it's easier to adapt. So then from there, I had the entertainment company and I opened the dry cleaners on Staten Island, right over in Great Kills. I had the dry cleaners. It was a miserable business for me. It was long days, underappreciated. I'll give you a really quick story. I was actually, the last day I had the dry cleaners, a customer came in and is like, oh, I need this tonight. I said, miss, I open at 5 a.m. in the morning. I close at 8 o'clock at night. Could you please be here before 8? She's like, no, we're coming back from Brooklyn. I am going to, I'm only going to be like 8:30. Could you please stay open? I stayed open for her and I fell asleep in a wooden chair. I fall asleep. Next thing I know, the bing thing that when the door opened never went off. I wake up. It's 3:30 in the morning. I have to be back in an hour. I'm like, this is the worst business ever. She didn't pick that suit up for 2 days. I got rid of that business, but in the back room of the dry cleaners, there was always a card game going. So me and my brother used to hold card games in our house and pay our electric bills.
All legal, of course.
Well, that's a good question. So the dry cleaners
we had the lawyer on last night. You're all right.
Yeah, the dry cleaners was not illegal because nobody was profiting from the gaming. I would say except only the players win. So the legalities of gambling are risking something of value, wagering in a game of chance, returning something of value. So, but there was nobody. So you can gamble, you can't profit from gaming. So I didn't take any money out of that game, so that was legal. The home games, yeah, well, yeah. I don't think they were legal, but they were in our house and we were kids and it was able to pay the electric bill and the gas bill and we had a good time. And that's how we really started doing it. Now, another kid that used to play in our home game, shout out to Breezy, this kid, Brian Hewitt, who is pretty much now he's on sanitation. He took a real job, but he was always just a professional card player. So I'd see him at the World Series of Poker in Vegas. And he'd be like, oh, you're playing? I'm like, no, I'm putting people in it. He's like, oh, I'm playing. Like that was where our two paths left from when we were 17 years old. So fast forward, I got a long story. I'm sorry about this. This is going to be a 3-hour cast. So then we end up.
I'm going to pull you back in. I promise. I'll keep you.
Yeah, you reel me in when you have to. We end up closing down the dry cleaners. My brother says poker is hot right now. So it was right after Chris Moneymaker won and poker was booming. We had the card game. I remember my cousin Max brought us. He went to a live poker event that he met a couple of players, and they signed books for us. And he brings the books back for us. I have nothing to do but read about poker and stuff in the back of these dry cleaners during the day. I'm reading and getting better, and my brother's like, "Hold'em's a game you could beat." So we start learning to really play the game. Now I shut that down. He's like, "You know what? Poker's hot right now. We should open a poker store." My first store opened on Manor Road on Staten Island. And in the very back of this little plaza that nobody thought I would last 2 weeks. They didn't think I'd be able to pay my rent for 2 weeks, right? And I said to my brother, you know what? If we could play cards there and it doesn't look suspicious, because it was suspicious in the back of a dry cleaners, why not? Let's do it. We never got a chance to play cards because we went into the black in the first like 6 months. We were so busy before our doors opened. It was crazy. We were doing events with like Phil Hellmuth, which if you're a poker player, he's a big name. Before we even opened the door. So we came out of the gate firing, and we haven't stopped. I haven't been able to play a game since. So that's how it turned into Down to the Felt. Then we evolved. We ended up moving to Jersey. So we had 2 stores, one in Red Bank, New Jersey, and one in Staten Island. Sadly, my clientele preferred, and this is a whole nother cast, but preferred to deal with the Jersey location over the Staten Island location. So then that statute of limitation is up. So that's exactly how that formed out. So right now, our main store is in Red Bank, New Jersey. We do home game room retail. It evolved from poker. So now we sell pool tables, arcade games, ping pong tables. We're doing a ton of stuff. Vinny just did, I'm super happy to say this, we just did a very nice size custom sale of a custom pool table, a custom shuffleboard table, matching wood ping pong table, all American made by Venture Shuffleboard. They are amazing and made in the USA. Everything truly is made here. And I think that's a big thing. Like if we buy in the US, things will get better. You know, and we produce in the US, things will get better. So, and all of that's going in, and we're doing that delivery hopefully the end of June if we get our limitations lifted up. And then that was our first, that's the adaptation on the retail end. We're doing all of that via email, telephone, and whatever I can muster up from jumping on the king of late night media's podcast, Anthony Rapp. If I could get a sale too, I'm not mad at it.
I'm going to pull you back again. All right. So
I know.
We got an amazing story. Family, first of all, family owned, you and your brother.
Yeah.
Taking something that you didn't think was going to even pay the rent, and now you've turned it into a huge national company. So without all the details, just give me the actual facets, because you mentioned 3 of them, but in between mentioning 3, and I know there are more, you layered stories. So we want the stories, but give me the divisions of Down to the Felt.
You got it. So we have a retail division. So that's the one that we've been featured on Man Caves, that we sell all game room equipment. So, it's all about just having a good time at home. And right now is a big time to do that. We're actually getting a little busier because people are realizing they're going to be home more. So right. Now, if you have a gorgeous house, like let's say Massimo Dodonna, and your ceilings are coffered, and you need to fill some of those 18 extra rooms, you could do that with a pool table, which your kids can play on, with a dome hockey table, because I know he's a big hockey dad, with stuff like that. So now I feel like that's a big deal. So now retail is one of our major divisions. Another major division is our live events. So now me personally, I can't even tell you what I do. I find ways to enjoy my life and make money at it. So our live events is really with my main portion of the business. What ended up happening was live events are no longer able to occur. So we're adapting to virtually holding corporate events and virtually holding online poker tournaments. And I'm going to talk to the Banis Funds PR guy, because I think we might want to do the first virtual poker fundraiser for them and launch that out. I think that might be a good idea.
We'll definitely do that.
Yeah, I think that'll be good. And I've already booked some. There's still a lot of companies that are booming right now. As much as some people are having a struggle, other people are booming. Technology firms are booming.
So tell me a little bit about, you mentioned this to me offline. Tell me about the corporate package you put together, because it's really cool, and I didn't think it could be done. But you said you have a client that is doing a corporate party for themselves, their internal employees. What does that look like?
So they're doing a recruitment party for networking. So the main thing that happens at my live events is networking. It's not really the gambling. The gambling's a sidebar. So you gamble, and that gives you the ability to communicate with people that you wouldn't. So you sit at a table and you can network with people. Now, how do I translate that onto a virtual platform, right? I can't do that. You're no longer able to sit next to them and strike up a conversation. Right. So I can't just give you a virtual platform to play cards and hope you type in the box. So we're going to try and institute a cross-platform where there's one portion of networking and meeting where there'll be a video conferencing portion for everybody that's at the table you're at. And then there's another portion where you're actually playing cards. So you would be able to engage the other 8 or 9 players that are strictly sitting at your table. And I think that's going to be revolutionary. I tried to jump on it as fast as I could. I've been adapting since March 13th. I didn't wait till now to start the process. So we've already booked some virtual events. And I think we're going to do a lot more of those virtual events. If you have a company and you want to keep the camaraderie and the networking and the getting to know your fellow coworkers without having to talk to them, to visit them in person, I think this might be the perfect thing. We're also offering, which is super fun, we have a lot of actors, actresses, models and personalities, comedians that are willing to host your virtual happy hours. So they could come on and they will host your event for you. So you'll have a form of entertainment, you'll have somebody to engage them, and we're going to help build that out. I think that's a big thing, and it's a way to continue interaction with you and your clients that you don't have right now.
So
and
before, I'm going to interrupt you again. It's okay. I'm going to keep
Sorry.
interrupting you. It's all right.
I talk too much.
So,
go ahead.
No, it's fine. So you've taken something that seemed like it was completely a wash, right? I mean, if you were to tell someone we're doing corporate virtual events, it's like how and what and why, but you managed to take it and put it online. It's already been booked. So this is not a fantasy. This is going to happen.
No, this is done already. Yeah.
And now in theory, once we have success with the first one, we're going to be able to roll this out as a package to new clients, correct? You'll be able to package this and resell this and offer this to clients, large, small, anywhere in between.
Yeah, you know what the best question was when I had the discussion with my corporate, with the point of contact for this, which they're a financial firm. They were like, "Would you be willing to do this with our office in Amsterdam because they're looking for something to do with this?" She's like, "I know you're local and you like to work local." I'm like, "Due to our current climate, I'm willing to work with your overseas companies as well. Why not? Why would I say no to that if we could develop it? And this might give me more time to stay home when I have a beautiful child like yours, Anthony, where I could be a dad from home and then still host this, which I think would be great. I believe that all of this is not a negative thing. I believe there is a lot of positivity. I think there's a very big way that we can all adapt, change, and learn from it. So we're learning what's really important, right? Our loved ones and our family. And we're adapting because we're like, you know what? All of that stuff that I was so busy doing that I didn't get to talk to Anthony Rapp on the phone every couple of days, I'm not doing it anymore. So now I get to talk to him. So that means more to me than just what I do on my daily ability. I think the people that are smart and adaptable are going to be very, very prosperous when we come out of this. And I think the people that want to say that it's going to be bad, it's what you focus on. So like if you're not focusing on the bad, every morning I wake up and I say the 10 things I'm most grateful for, right? That's what I do. I wake up. Well, you're number 6, bro. You're number 6. You don't go that low on the list.
Wow.
Number 9 and 10 get interchanged sometimes.
Wow.
And so now let me move on. So now the third aspect is this free bar league that we do. That's my most engaging aspect. I'm always out. I have a lot of followers that are a lot of fun. That we call them a family because we really are. Sadly, I've lost a very close family member in that family, in that one of the bar owners that I am very close to. We had the same name. We're both named Tom. We're both about the same age. And I lost him to a heart attack during the midst of this. I do believe it may have been COVID related. And I have another very good friend, like a very, very good friend that was in the league. He hasn't played with us in years, but he lost his father and his whole family tested positive. But his father didn't get his test. He was going for the test on a Thursday. He passed away the Wednesday night. So he was tested post-mortem and they had it. So now this horrible thing, it's a horrible thing. But I think it's socially responsible that we don't try to jump back into real life too fast, because all of these people, even though we're all starved for it, we have to find a way to connect outside of it. So with the bar league, we've run in numerous events, numerous locations every night of the week. And what happened was when it was first shutting down, everybody's like, "Don't shut down, don't do just a few more weeks. You could get away with it for another week." And I could have, but I made the socially responsible decision to close down my league on a Thursday. That Sunday we were supposed to have an event that somebody was asking me to please do. The guy that was asking me to please do it, actually, I did an interview with him. That's on, if you check out YouTube on Down to the Felt, Keith Rogers, who's doing well now. I think he's in the chat, actually. Thank God he's doing good now, but he beat it. And he said after he got it, he would have been the first one before getting it to say, "You need to do another event." He's like, and after getting it, he would be adamant that we don't, that we were right for shutting down ahead of time. So he didn't give it to 5 more people who gave it to 5 more people, but
so that was like a really good call on your part. So, let's just call it what it is.
It was the bad business move. It was the bad business move
because you lost revenue, but you protected the people that you just called family. So I know you have people watching you right now, and even though they may have been cursing you when they couldn't have come to that bar league that Sunday,
they did. I did a poll online on Facebook, and I said,
and everyone hated you.
Everybody said, "Don't shut down." I said, "Should we shut down?" I had more no's than yeses. And I was like, even though the people want me to keep going, I'm going to have to stop this, because sitting there watching people engage with each other, chips are not the cleanest things ever, right? They're not. You touch your face, you touch your hand, you sneeze, you touch a chip again. I love to gamble and I love casinos, and that leads us to a really good point. I had a lot of people asking about the live casino. I have a lot of live casino dealers that work for me that deal in casinos when they're not working private and corporate events. And there is no revenue stream for those people right now.
Right.
Like those people are definitely being affected. So now I feel like I want it to come back. My escape is usually a casino. I love going to a casino. Like
Right.
you know what I like best about a casino? I like when I'm losing money, all I need is a big shower, like with hot water that'll run forever, and the casino has that, and an ice cold air conditioned room. Those are my two prerequisites. And I can have the best time ever, which is what it is. But go ahead. Sorry.
Let's bring up a little bit. So we have a clip of a live event that you did for local real estate agent and huge real estate broker on Staten Island, New Jersey, Robert DeFalco. So this is just an example for anyone watching of the type of event that Down to the Felt can produce. You aren't talking about tables that come from other companies out there who will remain nameless but look like they're monopoly boards. You're talking about mahogany tables, real chips, professional dealers dressed to the nines, and here's just a small sample.
Yeah.
Here's a sample. Yeah, so
you cut off my little promo logo.
I cut it off too early?
No, that was perfect. No, it was just my logo. Don't worry. Everybody can see it behind me. That's why.
Don't worry about it. So, but I mean, that's the kind of thing that you're providing guests with. That's the kind of thing you're providing corporations with. So I want to shift to that. So we're talking casino as one element of your business. So you said it, I said it before. To me, the experience is going into the casino, being a part of it. When in that form of your business. So how do you think that that's going to change? I mean, there was a report that the Gaming Commission issued that said last year they made $41.7 billion, the gaming industry, and it was their record year, right? So you're going from the biggest windfall of cash in the gaming in the gaming industry's history, right, to zero. What does this experience look like when we can go back? Are people going to be, are you going to go into a casino and take that hot shower? Or are you going to be nervous that you have to sit next to a stranger that last year you would have sat there and had a conversation with him for an hour, but, next month.
Now they're putting up these videos of glass in between the people at the blackjack table. And I'm like, I don't think that's going to work either. Like it's so the social aspect of it is really what you're there for. And listen, don't cry for the casinos. Yes. I cry for the employees, the live employees, the dealers. I cry for them right now. But
absolutely,
the actual casino is still operating. Like I'm blessed enough that we have contracts online. That's how we adapted online. We're giving away $500 every Friday night. Another $250 every Saturday night for just playing in a free game. Like I'll toss that link up in the link again, but I'm able to do that because they're giving me money to get the people to cross over to the virtual realm. I don't think that that's going to be the bigger problem. I also think it's going to come back. I don't think this is gone forever. It's not something where we're going to never touch each other. I think once, and I'm not an expert in this field, but I think once we start having the antibody test and finding out if we can or can't re-get COVID, then I think that's going to make a big difference, right? So this isn't the first time this has happened. From my perspective, I don't want to get too far into it, but if you follow the Spanish flu, it followed similar patterns, right? Do you know where the Spanish flu started?
Wow,
France, right? Do you know why? Because there was media control, because it was wartime censorship, that they wouldn't report it. So Spain had free press, so they report it, right? So now this is just patterns that happen. After the Spanish flu, we went back to normal. People didn't even know this happened. Where all of us, our generation, is saying this has never happened in history before, but it has. It happens probably every 100 years. So I think we're going to get right back to normal, right? We're not going to do it tomorrow. So I do think the social interaction is going to re-engage. I do think they're going to need ways to sanitize chips a little bit more, especially in the beginning, before we figure out what's going on. I think they're going to. I think people want to go out and have fun still. Like I don't know about you. Like I can't wait
now more than ever.
Yeah, I want to sit and meet your baby. Like, we're not going to stop socially engaging each other. I just think we have to adapt while this is happening. So I think that's the bigger that's the bigger issue here. You know,
Go back to the online gaming and go back to gambling online. So in my previous life, admittedly, I was a degenerate gambler. I no longer am a gambler, but there are cool ways now that didn't exist when I used to gamble when I was younger. So who are the big players? So tell me, who are the players in online poker? What are the differences? I know that, based on IP address, which I don't know how they do that, because why wouldn't I just drive over the bridge on my phone and do it? But that's another story. Maybe you can answer it. But
yeah, I got plenty of those answers.
Who are the big players in online poker? Who are you aligned with? Because I know you're doing work with one of these major players in the online poker world. And how does it work? For a layman like me, who I'm not engaged, I'm not on one of these platforms. How do I get involved? Who are the players, and why? How does it work?
Okay, I'm gonna address all those issues. So now I just dropped the link in the thing in case anybody wants to get some free money and try it out. So now
everyone likes free money.
Everybody likes free money. It's crazy because this is what happens. So now to be an online casino, it's only really offered right now in Nevada, New Jersey, Delaware, West Virginia just crossed over this year. Welcome to the group, West Virginia. But there's no interstate play, right? So now you're only allowed to play in the state that you're in. At this current time, and Pennsylvania, who I'm in the process of signing a contract with, which only has one player in that game. So now I've recently tagged along with we affiliated with the biggest poker site in the world, which is PokerStars. So PokerStars is a monster. We're giving away. We have free rolls. They have plenty. My brother played in a game the other night. I live streamed it. There was 1,258 players. He won it, so we were able to watch him win the whole tour. Crazy. But it's a skill set, right? So you could play and you can win money. So now they're a very big player. We also have contracts with Party Poker and 888, and I'm actually in negotiations with contracts with every other site because.
So now those are the major players, right? 888 Poker, Party Poker. I've never heard of anyone. I mean, you mentioned one more.
PokerStars.
PokerStars. So those are the three behemoths. Those are the guys.
Yeah, those are the ones that are the top of the top. There's two or three others. There's WSOP, which don't get me wrong, I'm also negotiating with them. But there's other players. The thing is, every poker site has to be affiliated with a brick and mortar casino. So they're all seeing a part of this revenue because you need to be licensed. I need to be licensed to work with them. So I had to go through a whole licensing process that I did about 6 years ago. So 6 years ago, we first launched with Party Poker and 888 Poker, which were great. And we've never really went back to it because we're really about live engagement, like you were saying. So we were more about people on people and talking and being interactive and being fun. It was more about the people than it was about the poker, right? What I say, we're a bar league with a sidebar of poker, because it's not a pure poker league. Pure poker isn't as fun. It's very methodical. It's very mathematical. It's a different animal. So I'm more about talking to people, engaging with people. I think that's really where the fun comes in, and that's why there's an enjoyability to the game or to any game. So now you could play that, you could play blackjack, you could play craps, you could play roulette, you could play slot machines online. You don't have to be from New Jersey. If you click on this link and you drive over the bridge, and I have some people that actually do this now, shout out to Bernie Venizio because I know he does it. They drive across the bridge and they sit in their car and they play poker online, and they play on the site. Because as long as you go over the bridge, that's where you could play.
I don't feel that bad about my past when I used to gamble a lot, because even I didn't do things like that. I mean,
no way. That's not so bad. He's playing for free. I can't beat the guy. Or a $5 game that he plays with me later on. So now it's not so bad, and it's a form of entertainment, right? So, but it's not going to replace seeing each other. So what I've started to adapt and do is if you go on some of my streams, we will live stream the game, like a cash game, and we will all sit there, and we're all in boxes here with the game being played right here and talk shit. So I'm sorry. I forgot that I'm on a real news one. Sorry, we'll bleep that out.
It's okay.
So anyway, and we'll talk and we'll joke around and we'll have a good time, and that's how we're converting to being virtual yet still engaging with each other. And I think that's a really big deal.
The only thing that separates you, or right now, the only hurdle that Down to the Film has. Hurdle challenge.
They're all beatable. Go ahead.
Right, of course. But the only reason, I guess my point is, the only reason you're not running your own cash games, which would be legal, is because, as you said, you need to be affiliated with a brick and mortar casino.
No. Totally different. Okay, so there's different types of things. Now, there's legalities and everything. My business is a bigger business than a lot of the other people that do what I do. A lot of other people take liberties that I cannot do. So I'm very well aware that because of the three facets of gambling, I need to play within the rules. So
Right.
I am only associated with legal sites, with legal entities that are government regulated.
Right.
Now, a lot of people, listen, I'm not knocking them because, like we said before, some people like to gamble outside of that. But there's other sites. Everybody's got to eat. So there's other sites that you can gamble on without legal regulation. I don't affiliate with them. But I see a lot of people doing it. And a lot of people are inviting me to their games because I have such a big poker contingent that follows me.
Right.
And I'd love to play in them, but I can't. So, I'm not knocking them. I mean, other leagues even did a lot of stuff that was very it wasn't even gray letter. I was like, listen, don't do this. You can get our industry in trouble, but they don't care. And to be completely honest, if they don't have as much to lose as me, this is my livelihood. Like I said, I haven't gotten a check in over 20 years. I can't be like, whatever, I'm going to run a game. I'd love to, but I can't.
It's not worth it.
No, not at all.
All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick pause. And this is the opportunity for everyone who is watching.
Good, I could breathe.
To please, yeah, you can. I'm great. This is perfect. I'm gonna have you come on tomorrow night and be the host. Tomorrow night we got Mike Scarambolo, First Home Loan Bank. I hope you're here, Tom, to interview him. I'm gonna go downstairs and hang out with my wife.
There we go.
But right now, guys, if you're watching, this is the time. Please go to the comment section. There's a ton of questions that we can ask Tom. Throw some of them in there. We're going to call them out. But before we get to that, we are going to do, as we do each night, we're going to bring up our COVID Talks Hero of the Day. And today we're proud to highlight Mr. Michael Papa. So Michael Papa is a Staten Island resident. He was sent into the hospital with COVID-19 on April 10th. And today he was released from Clove Lakes Hospital, COVID-free. And in addition to that, just being greatly positive and greatly heroic, he is the first person to leave Clove Lake Hospital. So that residence in particular, that particular hospital, of the 53 cases they have. So hopefully Mike is starting a trend, being the first of 53 cases. That means Clove Lake still has 52 cases left. We wish all of those 52 COVID patients in there the best. Shout out to our medical workers and first responders for doing a great job. Shout out to Clove Lakes Hospital for doing the work, putting in the effort to get Mr. Michael out and back with his family. So we are back. And now this is the part I hate. Right. Why? Me personally, because I know you love it. Mike Bloomfield, you guys thrive on this. I don't thrive on it. I like the nuts and bolts. I like the conversation. I like
structure.
I do like the structure. I don't like when I click the comments and someone's going to tell me my hair looks stupid or Moss is going to make a stupid comment, but we're going to go to the comments. We're going to open them up. We're going to open them up because I know that there is going to be someone with a smart comment.
You could ask dumb comments. I'm all about dumb answers too. Tom, where is my drink? You want to see something funny? What's up, John Vogelman? There's my drink right there.
Shout out to Vito Panetta. Vito is with us since day one. Vito, we love you. We thank you for supporting us. Let's see. What do we got in here? What do we got in here?
Michael Riley, I totally disagree. You can take the loan from tomorrow and play some wagers with me and with Poker Stars and triple it. I'll teach you how.
Assemblyman Mike Riley, we're all in on this episode. Nice. There you go.
Assemblyman, me and him need to talk because we need to get it legal.
Thank you so much. Let's see. What do we got?
It's a fact. We need to bring poker to New York legally. I want to be on the forefront of that.
What do we got? All right, so you know what? It's okay that we don't have any questions. It actually. I see
Moss is asking me what's better, midday with Moss or COVID Talks.
I want to just highlight Frankie Party Jam because Frankie's right. I didn't really have to do much. Don't worry, you got it. All right, so let me know.
Thank you, Frankie Party. You know what's funny is I feel like I'm coming together more with a lot of our friends that we all are in the live event industry. So we feel this pain together. I feel like we're going through it and feeling it at the same time. So can we wash cash through your games? Moss has been doing it for years.
Shout out to Anthony Girardi. So Anthony Girardi previously had the coronavirus. He beat the coronavirus. He is now safe and home with his family.
I didn't even know that.
We'll see. And listen, and he's giving you shout outs. Much respect to Tom Banis, a gentleman.
Much respect. Thank God. I'm praying for you, buddy. I'm happy
one of my top vendors. So yes.
Yes, sir. Part of merge.
Girardi, we love you. And we're happy that you're doing well. We're moving. We're scrolling.
Hold on. Real question. What will online gaming do for New York State? That's a great question. I think there's a ton of tax money that's being left on the table right now. So people are going to play. They're going to play poker. I know there are millions of people playing poker in New York State right now. They're not just not doing it legally. So if you do it legally, you get all of that residual income that those tax dollars are being brought in and they're being paid towards the state. I think that it definitely needs to be brought to the forefront. I mean, it needs somebody to really pioneer it, only because it's happening. People are playing poker. I'm getting an invite 20 times a day to come in somebody's private poker game. So why is the state leaving that money on the table? I think that's silly. I think Jersey did it. Jersey's profiting from it. I think New York could do it. They could profit from it. If you can have Empire City doing their thing in Queens, why can't we do that legally from home while generating some tax revenue from people that are enjoying it? Sorry,
yeah, it's definitely leaving a ton of money on the table. So shout out to Assemblyman Mike Riley for asking that question, because we're with you. We support you. I mean, if people are going to be doing it, there's no reason that the state shouldn't profit on it. You know what I mean? It makes no sense, and everyone else is doing it. So here, Ron Sortino. The question I have is the question I've been asking. Is there a timeline for online Down to the Felk League games, even if there aren't prizes?
Oh, yes. People want to get into the Staten Island games, because I do have a Staten Island League. Yes, there is a timeline. We will be launching it this week. There won't be prizes, but we will be able to engage, and I'm going to live stream it. Shooting for this Thursday evening, actually, the day before we shoot our $500 free roll for people. Anthony Girardi, I promise you I'm going to call you as soon as we end this cast, because I am concerned about you, and I do want to talk to you and see how you're doing.
And shout out to our good friend Todd Bavona. So perfect question for you, Mr. Banis. How's DraftKings holding up? What are your thoughts on DraftKings?
Oh, that's a very funny animal. So DraftKings is different. DFS is Daily Fantasy Sports, is a totally different animal than online gambling. So it's, for some reason, they were able to pass through all the loopholes, and they were very smart. And It is gambling, but it's not gambling. So they don't adhere to any gambling laws, but it's going back and forth and it's being fought. DFS is very similar to poker. So what happened was, a lot of the major online players, because the money dried up in online poker, they moved over to Daily Fantasy Sports. Don't be fooled by it. It is a game of skill. So people with skill are able to dominate these games. So you'd be surprised that with a small portion of people that make the most money of these things are the best at it. So if you're doing it for fun, just do it for fun. But if you're doing it to really care, DraftKings is killing it still. They're still able to put out a lot of money, and they're doing it skirting all of the legalities. I don't think they're paying. They're probably based in Gibraltar. To tell you the truth.
Good question, Todd. And now we just want to shout out one of your guys. So I'm going to say John Bokelman must be one of your guys, Tom. Correct? So,
yes, sir.
Positive vibes going your way, Tom. Your podcast and your web series. I put the link in the comment section for them to search your YouTube channel and check it out. What time is your stream tonight? Just so we could let everybody check it in.
I'm shooting for 9 o'clock tonight. So anybody that wants to hop on with me, we will be on 9 o'clock tonight. We're going to be doing some pretty crazy stuff. My series is a little bit different. I've talked about this with Anthony Rapp. Like, there has to be a happy medium in between. Like, I have some ridiculousness occur all over the streams, right? But I'm not as structured as you. I'm not as good at this as you, as connecting to the masses. But the people that find me, we have a good time. We laugh a lot. We drink a lot. We curse a lot. We do.
Well, listen, I opened the segment, if you heard me in the beginning, and I said it out loud. I said, my good friend Tom Banis, who actually said to me, I love it. I think you're doing a good job, which thank you, because I'm just kind of going at it as best I can. But you actually said to me, I think it's good, but it needs to be entertaining. And I promised that people will be entertained that I brought you on. So
I hope I hope I'm entertaining to people.
I don't know.
I know Moss is. I think that's why Moss does such a great job too. He has such a great dynamic that people gravitate towards him. I don't want to give him too many compliments.
No,
but
he's like watching a car accident. That's what it is. I mean, let's just call it what it is.
It's all about the mixture between a car accident and a good moral undertone. So if we can do that together, I think that's the key. Nobody wants to watch a bad car. Nobody wants to see carnage, but they want to see what happened, right?
Yeah, everybody's curious. Everybody's curious. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're over our usual time. So what I'm gonna do is, Tom, before we do the outro.
Sorry, go ahead.
Before we do the outro,
yes.
I just wanted to. I got one last question. So I've had the privilege of working with you on lots of charity events. I know Partners in Sound, Anthony Girardi, Moss, a lot of us have worked together. There's a lot of synergies between our companies. How do you see, especially right now, because I know a lot of my nonprofits, we're looking for ways to do stuff. Do you think that there will be something rolled out where we could, even if it's just temporary, I like to look at long-term solutions, but just for now, do you think we could ever do a virtual fundraiser for someone using a platform like we're using here and actually interacting and being able to make it work? Forget about how it looks. Would it work? Would I
Yes.
be able to log in, make a donation, and as we do at charity events, cash in my chips and win a television? Do you think that ever happens?
Yeah, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to make a verbal commitment to this right now. So let's give it a 10-day timeline, because we have to do this soon because we have to adapt fast. 10-day timeline. We'll do our first fundraiser for the Banis Fund. We'll do an online poker game. What's going to happen is, if you make a donation, we're not going to care about the size of your donation. We will give you a suggested donation, but you can give much, much more or much, much less if you can't afford it in this time of need. And then everybody that makes a donation will get an invitation to our meeting with a free poker game attached to it. That free poker game will have a prize attached to it. Now, since they're not paying for the poker game, the legality is they're not risking anything of value. They're just making any donation they want, right? So there is no way to stop them from getting into the game. We will find somebody to sponsor off, and I know you have a million people because you know all the movers and shakers. One nice prize for that poker game, and I think we could live stream it. So whatever night we could all come together, maybe me, you, Midday with Mas, Todd Pavona, Blue, everybody, all of us, Mike. Like, let's come together and we'll join to do this. I'm not trying to make money on the first one. Let's do it to raise some good money. And then we'll have that as a blueprint for the next company that wants to try and, put it together, and we'll use our blueprint to help them.
Good. I just want to say one thing. So the irony of you and Mas and everybody, it's funny because you just made a statement in 10 days. He'll say something in 10 days. You know who's got to build it and do all this stuff, right? Me.
Oh, yeah, but that's why you're the world's best.
That's why it's funny. So everybody makes all these promises, does all these things, posts all these comments. At the end of the day, this kid's the guy that's got to do all the work. So we'll see. 10 days may sound. 10 days sounds fair. 10 days sounds fair. We'll see if we can work it up and get it done.
You know what I say? 24 hours or impossible will take a week, right? So difficult is a day, impossible is a week. So you can do anything in a week. I'm giving you 3 more days.
Unbelievable.
God, the entire universe in 6. You got 4 days here.
And on that note, we are going to say thank you to Tom Banis for being with us. Love you, brother. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you for answering some good questions. Thank you for explaining what it is you do, because quite honestly, you're almost like me. You're an anomaly, because anything related to gaming, you have your finger on the pulse and you're right there. I'm looking forward to this charity event that we're going to do. We'll definitely get it off the ground. Anyone who's watching live right now, please go to the link. Tom, if you could post it again when I put you in the green room. If you click that link, you'll be able to get some free cash to play online poker with Tom, hang out, get accustomed to the new platform, learn about how to play online gaming, and they're going to give you free money to do it. So no risk involved to you. So Tom Banis, I love you, brother. Thank you so much for being with us. I'll be down there in 2 seconds. All right. All right, guys. So once again, we appreciate you watching. For those of you that are listening on the podcast, thank you so much for listening. We want to just once again quickly remind you to tune in tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, we have a great guest with us who is going to be rolling out a first of its kind program specifically geared towards first responders. He actually contacted me before we went live tonight to say that it's going to be a COVID Talks exclusive. This new project being rolled out from Michael Scarambolo, branch manager of First Home Bank, is going to be brought to the public for the first time anywhere tomorrow on the show. So please tune in tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. We don't want you to miss it. And just another quick shout out. We're proud that we will be featuring Miss Linda Barron, president of the Staten Island Chamber of Commerce, with us next week. We're working with her team to decide what day works best for her, because her schedule, especially right now, is crazy. And she did agree to do our series COVID Talks when there are many of these series going on, and she had respectfully declined the others. So we're very proud and privileged to have her be with us to talk about the business community, Staten Island community, what's going on, what's currently taking place, and where she thinks the future is going to go. So once again, thank you for watching. Thank you to Tom Banis for being with us on the podcast. Thank you for listening. This is COVID Talks, positive conversations during uncertain times. We'll see you tomorrow.